Welcome to Film and Page. I'm Dominic. Now it seems Arthur C. Clarke's classic Rendezvous with Rama story is coming to the big screen, and it's going to be directed by Denis Villeneuve himself. So if you don't know anything about Rendezvous with Rama, it's a science fiction novel by Arthur C. Clarke that was published in 1973. Set in the 2130s, the story involves a 50 by 20 kilometer cylindrical alien starship that enters the solar system. So this is a book that I haven't read. The books of Arthur C. Clarke that I have read is the 2001 Space Odyssey books. All the books in that series, I've read all of those ones, and that's about it when it comes to Arthur C. Clarke. Now this is a book that I know about because I've seen it pop up over and over again because I'm always buying science fiction books and reading about science fiction books, so the name just comes up. And it's also over on the Folio website as one of their books as well. But beyond that, I'm not familiar with the story at all. So I don't have the same kind of background with this book that I had with Frank Herbert's Dune. But this is pretty cool news for me anyway. So this article is from The Hollywood Reporter. Denis Villeneuve tackling adaptation of sci-fi classic Rendezvous with Rama. After tackling Frank Herbert's speculative classic Dune, Denis Villeneuve is set to direct an adaptation of another sci-fi story from a genre staple Arthur C. Clarke. Denis Villeneuve will helm Rendezvous with Rama for Alcon Entertainment, which is financing the project, and worked with the director on the Hugh Jackman, Jake Gyllenhaal star Prisoners and Blade Runner 2049. Along with Alcon co-CEOs Broderick Johnson and Andrew Kosov, Morgan Freeman and Laurie McCreary will produce via their Revelations Entertainment banner. Freeman and McCreary have previously held the rights to the 1973 novel for 2 decades, pushing the book outright in 2018. The story from Clarke, the writer behind 2001 A Space Odyssey, follows a group of human space explorers who are tasked with intercepting an alien starship that is hurtling through the solar system. It is believed that the mission will lead to mankind's first contact with alien intelligence. Denis' vision for Rama felt completely aligned with Arthur's wishes, so we are confident that teaming with our producing partners Andrew and Broderick at Alcon is the right next step in this over 20-year odyssey, stated McCreary and Freeman. This is one of the most intelligent works of fiction in the genre. It poses as many questions as it does answers, and is a work for our time, said Johnson and Kosov. It's perfectly fitted to our friend and collaborator Denis' brilliant sensibilities, and specifically to his love and passion for science fiction. We are also pleased to work with Morgan and Laurie, who have had a long-standing passion for this IP. Villeneuve's Dune is approaching $400 million mark at the global box office, with Legendary and Warner Brothers having already announced plans for a Part 2, which will be Villeneuve's next project. He is also attached to direct episodes and executive produce HBO Max spin-off prequel series, Dune: The Sisterhood. So this is pretty interesting news. And it's kind of cool to see Villeneuve going on to direct more science fiction. So it kind of goes against what he said at one point where he wanted to do something small after Dune. Maybe he still will. Maybe he can squeeze something in between Dune and Rama. So he still has to finish Dune and then move on to this one. So this is going to be a ways down the road. So this is a movie that I wasn't familiar with. I'm not familiar with the book. Didn't know that this was a thing that was being made, but I did a little bit of reading up on it in preparation for this video. So apparently this has been stuck in development hell for 20 years. So a lot like Dune. The first time I heard about a new big screen adaptation of Dune was 2007. That's the first time I remember reading news about that online. And every couple of years I would search up news about it, and it seemed like there was always something stalling it, and then Paramount had it and tried to get it going twice, and then it just died. I didn't hear anything about it until Legendary got the rights. So here's like a headline from sci-fi.com going all the way back to March 2003, showing that Freeman still pushes the Rama project. And then this goes back even further. This is a screenshot from the Revelations Entertainment website And this goes back to 2001, where Rendezvous with Rama was in development all the way back then. And back then, director David Fincher was attached to direct. So they've been a long time trying to get this thing off the ground. So hopefully it's something that they can get off the ground eventually, because this is something we need more of in movie theaters. More of these, really good stories adapted to big screens, and things that haven't been adapted yet, instead of just constantly rebooting stuff. And because it seems like the majority of stuff in the theaters right now are reboots of old properties or superhero movies. Now, I know a lot of people dunk on the superhero movies, but I myself enjoy superhero movies. So it's not, in my opinion, it's not a bad thing that they're in the theaters, but it would be nice to have something else to watch as well, with those movies, because superhero films, they're just like pure escapism for me. But it would be nice to have more these big budget, produced science fiction movies. I'd like to see more of that. It just seems like all science fiction is to a lot of fans is either Star Trek or Star Wars. But I'd like to see more of that. And it seems like we're getting more of it, especially right now. If you're a science fiction fan, there's quite a bit on TV for you to watch. They have the Foundation series. The Expanse season 6 just started up. That's still going. You have a lot of other shows that are on there. And then we just got part 1 of Dune, which was a movie, waiting for over 10 years for. And fans of this apparently have been waiting for 20 years, Rendezvous with Rama. So, as I said before, this is a book that I haven't read. But with the news of this movie coming out, I might push this book further up the reading list than what I had previously. It was a book I kind of looked at and was kind of interested in reading, but just haven't gotten around to it yet. But I have been making an effort to more and more read like older science fiction stories, like Frank Herbert's Dune. I've read Fahrenheit 451. Like I said, Arthur C. Clarke's 2001 Space Odyssey. I've read The Mote in God's Eye. Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep, going all the way back. And this is another one that I would like to add to that list, is this book as well. Because I recently read The Left Hand of Darkness by Ursula K. Le Guin, reviewed it here on my channel. And that was a pretty solid science fiction story. I really enjoyed that book. So hopefully something doesn't happen that doesn't get made into a movie. I would really like to see this come out. And not only this, but it would be cool, to get this movie out. And on top of that, a film adaptation of Dan Simmons' Hyperion, which I did a video on that a little while ago. As news broke that they were looking to bring that to the big screen. And that's another thing, a property that's been tied up for a while. It was going to be a movie, then that got canceled. Then it was going to be a TV series, and that got canceled. Now it's a movie again, that's a really good book. That one I have read, Hyperion and Fall of Hyperion. If you haven't read those 2 science fiction books, really have to. Those ones are really good. And that would make, if it's done right, that would make a very, very good science fiction movie. And it would look cool on the big screen. Now, how it would connect with general audiences, I don't know, because like Dune, it's a strange story. But I would like it. I know that. But as I said, cool news with all the science fiction coming out. And hopefully we get more news like this down the road. So that's everything I have to say in this video. Let me know what you think in the comments section, and I will see you at the next one. I'd like to say thank you to all of my subscribers. I appreciate you all in helping this channel grow. If you're new to the channel, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Also, don't forget to hit the bell icon so you'll be notified when new videos are uploaded.